I've got some very important news for anyone who votes in the state of Washington. In this video, I'll be discussing the corrupt billionaire Brian Heywood, who's a resident of Seattle, Washington, and is having a very dark influence on elections in Washington state. And we'll go over all the issues I found with this man. So the reason I started looking into him is because this is the man behind the organization called Let's Go Washington. And if you don't know what that is, they have a ballot initiative, which is a petition. So they go around collecting signatures. If they get enough signatures, then it's possible they can have this issue put on the ballot. And the issue was trans girls in sports. And so this man is trying with this organization to have trans girls banned from sports in the state of Washington. And this is not his first time with a ballot initiative like this. So let me get into it and we can talk about all the issues. So this is from King 5. In this story, Brian Heywood used $5 million of his own dollars to support several initiatives in Washington. He operates and funds an organization called Let's Go Washington. So Courtney Normand, who is with Planned Parenthood Alliance advocates, said in a statement, his divisive initiatives are designed to pit parents against schools and communities against each other. These tactics are out of step with Washington's values and distract from the real issues students face every day. There's also a coalition of organizations called Washington Families for Freedom that's speaking out against Brian Heywood. Their coalition includes the following organizations: the ACLU of Washington, the Greater Seattle Business Association, the Gender Justice League, Planned Parenthood Alliance Advocates, Pro-Choice Washington, the Washington Education Association, and the UFCW 3000. They said they're standing up against attacks on students' rights to freedom and privacy. And that was in response to Brian Heywood's attempt to attack trans children's rights in our school systems. But that's not the only attack on trans children he is making. He's also behind the signature ballot to ban trans girls from athletics in Washington. Here's another article I found. Seattle Times. Let's Go Washington fended off allegations Thursday that it violated state campaign finance laws by failing to disclose details on how it financed gathering of signatures for 6 statewide initiatives, including 3 in front of Washington voters next month. Oh, this is an old article. But the important part there is that this organization has never disclosed how it's being financed and how it's gathering all these signatures. And he's done, I think, 8 now of these in Washington. And the way he gets signatures is corrupt too, and I'll get into that in a sec. The State Public Disclosure Commission conducted a 3-hour hearing into charges that the political committee did not timely and accurately report expenditures for each ballot measure and failed to obtain and disclose information from signature gathering firms on subcontractors they paid. So his signature collecting process is corrupt, and he's done at least 8 of these in Washington now. The committee's also accused of failing to timely produce campaign records requested by commission staff. A subpoena issued in July led Let's Go Washington producing 9,000 pages of materials for the compliance officer of the watchdog agency. The commissioners, after meeting briefly in closed session, exited without ruling. Here's another article from KHQ.com. Brian Heywood has been accused of violating Washington's anti-corruption laws with giving discount gas and food in exchange for votes. So Let's Go Washington has held a number of events across Washington offering heavily discounted gas in hopes of gaining support for initiatives in the election. So this was all about the cap and trade system. The cap and trade system sets a decreasing limit on total pollution from a group of emitters. So he's basically pro fossil fuel industry and anti-climate. So in the past, Defend Washington had filed lawsuits regarding how Let's Go Washington obtained signatures to get their initiatives on ballots. So this is a long history with this guy having lawsuits around his signature collecting. The recent complaint alleges that Let's Go Washington offer of cheaper gas and in one case food during promotional events for 4 different initiatives the group supports violates Washington's anti-corruption and anti-bribery laws. It's literally against the law to do that. So this is Sandeep Kaushik, a consultant for Defend Washington, said, "It's been clear to us that Let's Go Washington has been skirting the law and we believe violating the laws of Washington state regarding transparency and disclosure of their campaign financing. More recently, they've been engaging in providing inducements to voting yes on the initiatives, and that's a violation of state law. Led by a millionaire hedge fund owner, Let's Go Washington is deceiving Washington voters and trying to buy votes at gas stations through a gimmick, giving people an artificial discount while making false promises about the future." That was a quote by Mark Prentice. So Let's Go Washington claims their events are designed to show how much Washingtonians could save. Bullshit. So here's another thing I found. This is from the spokesman.com. Let's Go Washington has received substantial funding from developer, builder, real estate, hospitality, and fossil fuel interests. The Progressive Voters Guide said, while described by critics as supporting efforts to roll back climate policies, Brian Heywood is fundamentally characterized as a Republican mega donor. E&enews.net said Brian Heywood disputed the merit of lowering carbon emissions, arguing that Democrats are relying on vague language to scare people into ceding control of their lives. This man is fucking delusional. Brian Heywood spent at least $7 million on signature gathering, and he's failed a bunch of these. Only the oil industry would benefit from a repeal of a carbon emissions tax, said Reuven Carlyle, the former Democratic chair of the state Senate's Environment Committee and sponsor of the Climate Commitment Act, the law that created Washington's cap and trade system. The Western States Petroleum Association is thrilled to discreetly stand in the shadows to a hedge fund individual who put the cash up. Brian is a convenient distraction. So let me recap this. He's a Republican. He doesn't support women's rights. Even Planned Parenthood spoke up against this man. There were so many organizations locally that found him corrupt that they formed an entire coalition around this man. He's donated undisclosed sums of his own riches to buy votes and signatures illegally. He's done at least 8 of these. He's helping the fossil fuel industry. He's attacking trans children, and he's attacking climate change projects. So this man is like every other fucking Republican man. He's corrupt, deceptive, dishonest, and he's obsessed with children's genitalia.